This is a free tool that will help you to make your Amazon PPC ads more profitable. And I'm going to show you how to sign up and use that free tool, as well as show you 5 advanced Amazon PPC tactics that you can use that will increase your profitability with Amazon advertising. And setting up and using Amazon PPC is crucial because 66% of all people searching for a product online start their search on Amazon. So if you're trying to sell a product, you need to be advertising on Amazon. And Amazon PPC has an average ROI of 4x, meaning for every dollar you spend with Amazon PPC, with Amazon advertising, you're gonna make back $4. And this is a huge opportunity. Last year, sellers spent over $10 billion on Amazon ads. But on the flip side, that also means there's a lot of competition. And so if you're gonna be running Amazon PPC, you're gonna wanna make sure that all parts of your ads are dialed in. And this is where the free tool I'm gonna be talking about today comes in. And the first step is to sign up for this free tool. There's a link down below in the description. Click on that link and it'll give you access to this tool for free. And this is a tool that the company Sellics makes. And all you have to do is click the link down below and click on Analyze Your Campaigns Now. It's then gonna ask you to fill out some information like your name, your business information, and a few other things. After you fill that in, you're gonna click the next button and it's gonna ask you to connect your Amazon seller account to this tool so it can import all that data and start analyzing it. Once you fill out that information, they send you a report benchmarking how your ads are performing compared to all of your competitors' ads. And once you get this report, it's gonna show you a ton of valuable information. But what I think is one of the most valuable things, you can actually scroll down here, and it's gonna show you how your ACoS is doing compared to your competitors, how your conversion rate is compared to your competitors, how your click-through rate and your CPC is compared to your competitors. And you can see overall, my Amazon PPC ads for this specific business are not doing very well. And right at the top it says, most of your competitors have better Amazon PPC KPIs than I do, which is kind of a good sign because that means that there's a lot of room for improvement. And at the top of the report, it shows you some general overviews about how your Amazon PPC is doing, how many impressions you're getting, how many clicks you're getting, how many orders are resulting from your Amazon PPC ads, what your general ad spend is, and how much sales you got directly related from your Amazon PPC ads. Now, in full transparency, for this Amazon business, I completely outsourced the PPC, and we can see that's kind of been a mistake. They're spending too much money, especially when you look at compared to my competitors. But this is really important to know. Now that I know how poorly my Amazon ads are performing, it gives me very specific tactics that I can use to actually improve my Amazon ads profitability. And as I mentioned, there's a few different categories here. Let's start with ACoS. ACoS stands for Advertising Cost of Sale. And it's basically the amount of money you spent on advertising divided by how many sales accumulated for this. So you want to get your ACoS as low as possible. And what makes the Sellics benchmarker tool so helpful is if you actually hover here, it'll show you how your competitors are doing. And it looks like on average, my competitors have an ACoS of around 24%. Well, I'm doing an ACoS of around 50%, which means there's a lot of room for improvement. So how do we improve our ACoS and how do we make our Amazon ads more profitable? That's where the 5 advanced Amazon PPC tactics I'm going to be sharing with you in this video come into play. So the first thing to consider when trying to get your ACoS lower, when trying to increase your return on investment from spending money on Amazon ads, first thing I like to consider is what is your conversion rate? And the conversion rate is basically the number of people that go to your Amazon listing and actually purchase something divided by the number of people that just go and visit your page. And we want to get this number as high as possible. We would ideally like 100% of people that go to your Amazon product page to actually purchase your product, but that's not necessarily realistic. But there are some tactics that we can use to increase this number, and I'll be talking about those in just a second. But before we start trying to increase the conversion rate of our Amazon product listing, it's important to know, how does our conversion rate stack up against our competitors? And that's one of the insights that this tool gives you. And so if I hover over here, I can see that my conversion rate for my product page is 10%, meaning on average for every 100 people that go to my product listing page, 10 people actually make a purchase. But you can see that the industry average is actually 20%, and some of my competitors are even getting up to 37%. So at 10%, that means that I have a lot of room for improvement. But the question is, how do we increase the conversion rate? The first thing you can do to increase your conversion rate is change out the main image for your product. Test out some different ideas. See if maybe there's a different main image that would get people more likely to buy your product. Once you've found a good main image that's working really well, you can also add other product photos. And the goal with the other product photos is you want to show the benefits of your product. You want to show your potential customers why they should buy your product instead of the competitors. One way to do this is to do a comparison chart. You can show your product versus the competitor's products and show why your product is better. You can also add better, higher quality bullet points. And you get 5 bullet points for your Amazon product listing. And the goal of these bullet points is try to convince the customer to purchase your product. So if you have a low conversion rate, that probably means that there's room for improvement in your bullet points. One thing that I always like to do is offer a 100% money back guarantee in the bullet point, because if a customer goes to your product listing page and maybe they're thinking about buying it, maybe they're thinking about buying one of your competitors, but you directly on your product page say that there's a 100% satisfaction guarantee, that takes some of the risk off of your customer and makes it so they're more likely to just pull the trigger and buy your product. And here's the secret: all products on Amazon have a 30-day money back guarantee. They can always return your product anyways. So by reminding them that they have this kind of a guarantee, it takes some of the fear off of buying your product. You can also add A+ content. And A+ content is a way for you to really show all the benefits off of your product to the customer, add more image, add more details. You can also add things like a video. And a video gives you a chance to connect with your customer, to show your customer how amazing your product is. Because if everyone else that you're competing against only has static images and some text, and you have the benefit of also having a video, it's gonna put you a little bit further above your competitors. Another thing that you can do to improve the conversion rate of your product is add a coupon to your product listing page. If someone's on the fence about buying your product and then all of a sudden they see that they could save 5%, 10% on your product, it might just push them over the edge to actually purchase your product. And increasing your conversion rate is one of the most powerful things you can do. If you have a 10% conversion rate, and let's say you're making $10,000 a month in profit, if you could double your conversion rate, all of a sudden you'd be making $20,000 profit per month. The next tactic you can use to increase the profitability of your Amazon PPC ads is to increase your click-through rate. And the click-through rate is how likely is someone, when they see your Amazon listing in the search results, how likely are they to actually click on your listing? And this would be the number of times that someone clicks on your listing when they see it in the Amazon search results, divided by the total number of times people see it at all. So for example, if only 1 out of every 100 times that Amazon displays your product, someone clicks on it, that would be a 1% click-through rate. And we can see with this benchmarker tool that my click-through rate is 0.33%, which is actually slightly above my competitors, which means I'm doing a decent job, but you can see there's still a lot of room for improvement. I should be able to get this number up all the way to 0.6%. Basically, I should be able to double my click-through rate. But a question you might have is, how do you increase your click-through rate? And there's some very specific tactics I'm going to share with you on how to make it so people are more likely to actually click on your product versus your competitors' products. And when you're trying to improve your click-through rate, it's important to remember there's only a few things that people see when they're deciding on which product that they want to click on. They can see the main image, they can see the title, they can see the price, and they can see the number of reviews. So your goal is to optimize all these. Let's start with the main image, which is probably the most important part because it's the most eye-catching part. It's the part of your product listing that people see right away, and it's going to help them to determine, is this even the right product for them? Is this what they are actually searching for? Because remember that Amazon at the end of the day is a search engine. People go to Amazon to search for products that they want to buy. So when they type in something into the Amazon search bar, they want to make sure that your product is actually relevant to what they just searched. And the best way to show them that your product is what they just searched for is to make a really good main image that stands out from your competitors. So I recommend looking at all your competitors' images and see how you can make your product stand out. Maybe that means if all your competitor products are green, making your product red. If all your competitor products look a certain way, try to make yours stand out. Make your main image stand out from your competitors. Another thing that you can do is crop your image so there's as little white space around it as possible, which is going to make your product seem bigger. The next thing you can do to improve your click-through rate is improve your title. But it's important to remember that your title is part of your ad. It's basically telling people exactly what your product is. And so if it's full of a bunch of keywords and it doesn't make a lot of sense, people are less likely to click on it. What you want to do instead is make a title that makes people want to click on your product listing, that makes people want to eventually buy your product listing. Well, how do you do that? First off, it needs to be human readable. You can also talk about the benefits of your product and what makes your product better than the competitors in the title. For instance, adding things like 100% organic or whatever the things are that make your product better than the competitors. The next thing to consider is the price. And you might want to play around with the price. If your product is priced way too high, you might not get a very good click-through rate because people are going to see the price and they're not going to even be interested in your product. So by lowering your price, you might end up getting more clicks and more sales, and you might end up in the long run making even more profit. Though sometimes it is worth it to have a higher price product because it's going to mean, yes, you'll get less sales, but you'll get more profit per sale. But another thing that's extremely important when trying to improve your click-through rate is improving your reviews. If your product has a low number of reviews or a low star rating, people are less likely to click on the product. They're not going to even be interested in it. So your goal is to get as many 5-star reviews as possible. I do have a video I'll link up here on how to get as many 5-star reviews as possible. Another bonus tip for making your product listing stand out on the Amazon search results, making it so more people are going to want to click it, is to add a coupon. By adding a coupon, it's going to add this little green banner to your listing, which is going to make it so people are going to be interested and want to click on your product listing. The third thing you can do to increase your profitability with Amazon PPC is to increase your average order value. And your average order value is how much money do you make every time you get a sale? Now, most people, when they make a sale, they're only selling 1 unit of their product. But what if you could make it so your customers wanted to buy 2, 3, 4, or 5 units of your product? It would mean that you're spending the same amount of money on advertising, but the amount of money you're actually making from that advertising is 5x, making it so that your A cost actually goes down lower, which means more money in your pocket at the end of the day. And the way to make it so that your customers will buy more of your product is to incentivize them to do so. You could add promotions and discounts so that if they buy 2 of your products, you let them save a little bit of money. Same thing with 3, 4, or 5. Another thing that you can do is release related products. So for instance, for my product, originally we just had 1 flavor, but then I decided to come out with a chocolate flavor and a coffee flavor as well. So some people that go to buy the original flavor are also going to buy the chocolate flavor and the coffee flavor to try them out, which means that they're spending more money with me, which ultimately means more money in my pocket. Now, the next thing that the Sellics benchmarker tool shows us is the cost per click on average for our product compared to our competitors. And again, we can see that my cost per click is way too high. I'm at $1.56. They're saying that the average cost per click in my industry, in my niche, is $1.11. So if I want to increase the profitability from my Amazon ads, I'm going to need to lower the cost per click. And there's a few different ways that you can lower the amount of money you're spending per click. One of the easiest ways to lower your average CPC is to turn off Bid Plus. Now, Bid Plus is a feature with Amazon ads that makes it so Amazon will bid a little bit higher than what you say that you want to spend when they think that a customer is likely to make a purchase. But if you see your cost per click is too high, it might be a sign that you should turn this off. Another thing that you can do to lower your CPC is go in and just lower all of your bids. And that's one of the benefits of this tool. It shows you how much you're spending compared to your competitors. And if all your competitors are spending a lot less than you, that's a sign that maybe you could also lower your bids. Another thing that you can do to lower your cost per click is start going after more niche keywords. If you're bidding on the same keywords that all your competitors are bidding on, that means the price is probably going to be really high. If you do your research and you really try to find the hidden keywords that nobody else is going after, you're going to get your cost per click a lot lower. And the fifth thing that you're going to want to do to maximize your profit from Amazon advertising, from Amazon PPC, is to adjust your ad spend. And if you see that you're spending too much money with Amazon ads, it's time to lower your budget. And there's some very tactical ways that you can do this. You don't necessarily need to just lower your budget across the board. One of the first things that you can do is start adding negative keywords, especially on automatic campaigns. Amazon's automatic campaigns will help you to find a lot of keywords. It'll help you to advertise your product, especially when you're new. But over time, you're going to start collecting data. You're going to see which keywords actually trigger sales and which ones almost never trigger sales. For the ones that almost never trigger sales, you're going to want to add those as negative keywords and tell Amazon, do not show my ad when someone types in this specific keyword. Another thing you can do to lower the amount of money you're spending on Amazon ads and increase your A cost is turn off bad keywords. Any keywords that you've spent a lot of money on, but those keywords haven't resulted in a lot of sales, it's time to look at those and probably turn those off. And this should be obvious, but I see a lot of people spending money on keywords because they think that they should work, but when you actually look at the data, they're just not resulting in sales. Some other quick things that you can do to increase your profitability with Amazon ads is every time new competition comes up, target that competition. use the keywords that they're using in their title and target their brand name. You can also do product targeted ads so that you show up on their listing. In fact, one trick you can do is to target entire product categories so that for this entire category, for instance, for my product, it would be the entire nut butter category. I want to show up as an ad on my competitor's listing. You can also take your keywords and translate them into other languages. For instance, in the United States, Spanish is the second most common language. Translate all your keywords into Spanish, put those into your Amazon ads, and that's going to result in some clicks and some sales that your competitors are probably not targeting. There's a lot more information that this Sellics benchmarker report shows. It even shows how your sponsored product ads are doing compared to other people in the industry. And you can get your report 100% for free if you use my link down below. So click on the link, sign up. It's free and easy to do, and all your information is completely secure. So click on that link and let me know in the comments what you learned from your benchmarker report.